in association with KTUL. The following live telecast is an exclusive presentation of Cox Communications in association with KTUL, Oklahoma's News Channel 8.
They've dreamed about that gold ball for months, and now it becomes a reality. Stay tuned. The state championship games are coming up next on Cox Communications.
This live event, featuring members of the Oklahoma Secondary Schools Activities Association, is an exclusive presentation of Cox Communications.
Welcome to the Mabee Center on the campus of Oral Roberts University in South Tulsa. We present the Tulsa Auto Collection Championship game in 5A boys. It's the Booker T. Washington Hornets taking on the Cougars from Ada. Hello again, Don King along with J.V. Haney, and two contrasting styles here this afternoon, Coach.
Really contrasting, because you're going to see Booker T. Washington really play transition basketball. And yet you look at Ada High School, they're going to be more control. Probably will play a zone today, but should be a great 5A title game.
Let's take a look at the brackets and see how these two schools got here. Ada knocked off a familiar foe, Ardmore, for the third time this year, and then pulled the stunner over top-ranked Marshall last night. Meanwhile, for Booker T. Washington, they too met a familiar foe. They knocked off Douglas in the first round for the third time this year, and then knocked off second-ranked Oklahoma City Southeast. So two schools that might not have been predicted to be here are here. The Ada Cougars and the Booker T. Washington Hornets, a rematch from 2 years ago. We'll come back with the starting lineups and some of the top players when we tip off the 2001 state championships from Tulsa.
For incredible savings on tough Ford trucks, head to Tulsa Auto Collection's Ford Truck Month. We have over 1,500 tough Ford trucks, all priced low to sell fast. Save on a new 2001 Ford F-150 XL regular cab. It's priced at just $14,995. We have 50 at this price. Save $3,000 off MSRP on a new 2001 Ford F-150 Super Crew 4x2. 40 at this discount. It's a stampede of savings going on now during Ford Truck Month at the Tulsa Auto Collection, the everyday low price place.
It's a celebration of style and sophisticated design, of traditional taste with contemporary flair. Carpet Center. Your home may welcome the graceful touch of an ornate area rug by top designers like Tracy Porter and Kathy Ireland. For the right accent in your home, consider our premier collection of designer carpets from Laura Ashley, Waverly, and many others. Carpet Center, 121st and Memorial in South Tulsa, your decorating showplace.
It's a high-tech world out there, and it's picking up speed every day. Are you ready? Tulsa Technology Center has hundreds of ways to prepare you for success in the workplace and to make sure businesses get the qualified workers they need. From the nationally recognized Transportation 2000 and Craftsmanship 2000 programs to state-of-the-art medical, aviation, and business and industry training, Tulsa Tech has been bringing business and education together for over 30 years. Tulsa Technology Center, preparing people for success.
Here's the thing with the dish, is you've got to count on the weather in order for you to be able to see a game. Digital cable, if something goes wrong, I can call a guy, he'll be out of my place in a heartbeat because they are locally run. They don't really try to hold you to a contract or make you sign your life away, so to say. The price of where some places that charges you for lunch, you can have digital cable for an entire month. Yeah, you'd have to recommend it. It'd almost be crazy not to have it.
Call now to get free digital installation plus $10 off any digital package for 3 months.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the Tulsa Auto Collection, Carpet Center, Eastern Oklahoma Orthopedic Center, 180, Tulsa Technology Center, Airco Service, and Cox Digital Cable.
We are set. We know you are as well. Wherever you are around the state, welcome again as we have Ada against Washington coming up. This is a rematch of what happened 2 years ago. Let's take a look at the Ada Cougars and their top player, JB, Brad Evans.
Well, Brad Evans is certainly one of the outstanding guards that Mike Anderson has. He's a good outside shooter, but most impressive in the state tournament, Don, has been the 6'1 senior's ability to bring the ball down the court under pressure, between the legs, behind the back. He really can handle the basketball, and certainly the leading scorer there, as you see, 16.4.
Take a look at the starting lineup for the Ada Cougars. Ryan Walters, very instrumental on this club, along with Evans. Chucky Caulfield backed the Ada team this past fall. Lamont Ware, a good rebounder, and Michael Belito. There is Evans. He is the guy we'll watch tonight. He was very instrumental 2 years ago in getting the Cougars to the state tournament 2 years ago and then into the finals, only to have them lose to the Booker T. Washington Hornets. And Levi Harris is the guy that stirs the drink for Booker T.
Well, he's just kind of like Brad Evans for Ada. He is really the all-around guy at the guard position, averaging 15 points a game. Not very big, but he can shoot the basketball and he can push it up. He's an outstanding leader for the Hornets.
There's their starting lineup with Estes, a 6'8 senior. Look at the heights, 6'8, 6'3, 6'7, 6'5, and 6'2. Harris is the guy that will control this offense. Robert Meacham, a sophomore, continues to get better, and the three seniors have certainly allowed their leadership to shine here the last few weeks. For Nate Harris, who tries to set history, or at least tie history today, if he wins today for Booker T. Washington, it will be his 9th individual state championship.
You know, when you stop and think about that, Don, I don't think people realize what a tremendous accomplishment that's been for Nate Harris. 8 out of the last 19 years he's won a state championship. So many coaches go a lifetime, as I did, 30 years, never won one. And to think he's going for 9 to tie Verl Franklin from Millwood, and that is remarkable. And there's another young coach that's an outstanding coach, Mike Anderson at Ada. We'll talk about him a little later, Don. A lot of similarities between Mike Anderson and Nate Harris.
Well, here we go. The first of 4 today from the Mabee Center, and March Madness continues. Washington in the home white, maroon jerseys for Ada. Again, these two squads, or two schools, I should say, met 2 years ago on the Lloyd Noble floor for the state championship, and Washington won that one by 11. First shot, no good, and our first foul on the rebound, and that goes to number 50, Mark Anderson, 6'5 senior.
Ada opened in a 2-3 zone, and this is what they were so effective with yesterday in the semifinals, Don, against Oklahoma City Southeast. They really got packed in there and did a tremendous job in a 2-3 zone.
Tipped away by Harris, 1-on-3. That doesn't stop him. Tipped by Watkins, and he controls it. They are going to be very difficult to stop inside is Booker T.
Rico Watkins is certainly one of the outstanding players. Good quarterback. I think I said Southeast. It was against John Marshall, but just a great 2-3 zone that Ada played.
Uh-oh. I think the Washington player hit his head on the floor. We'll see if Watkins is okay. He took a shot, and that's what he saw, darkness, when he hit the floor. Nate Harris in his 19th year at Booker T. 18-9 this season are the Hornets. We'll tell you how they got there after Ada shoots a couple of free throws here from Lamont Ware. Ada went to Midwest City, Carl Albert, and won their regional championship. They beat Nathan Hale of Tulsa by 31, and then they won at Carl Albert by 24. Then went to the area championship at Broken Arrow and beat McAllister in double overtime, 98-93, to earn a berth to the state tournament. Lamont Ware at the line, averaging 11 points a game. This one would tie the contest. We're just underway, a minute gone in the 5A Boys State Championship.
You know, when Mike Anderson gets in his 2-3 zone, what he's basically trying to do is to prevent anything from happening inside, make it go on the outside.
They did a nice job there working it inside to Anderson. He has it slapped away by Michael Belico.
Angelo Estes, number 20, making a great pass when he catches it in the open spot in the middle against the zone.
Is that the key to breaking the zone, catching it at the free throw line?
You've got to, and they will allow you to catch the ball in what I would call a high post right in the lane, and then you can lay it down, and that's something that they'll have to do if they break it.
Watkins, the runner, no good. Oh, nice quick hands by Evans, and then he got fouled.
This is really going to be a big battle of the boards, Don. Lamont Ware he's only 6'2" for Ada, but he really did a great job yesterday on the board, starting out again today. And here's a 1-2-2 zone, kind of a spread zone. They'll use their quickness here, trying to get in a passing lane, and they can do this well, Washington can.
Watkins at 6'7" out front. That might be offensive, and Jeff Campbell says indeed, offensive foul. He was an All-Stater at Meeker, one of our 3 officials. Mike Anderson, in his 7th year as the head coach at Ada.
That's good positioning in there, as you could see, by Mark Anderson, number 50 of Washington, just sliding off his down position on the zone, establishing himself and taking the charge.
Foul called on Chucky Caulfield, the junior. He quarterbacked Ada. Watkins into the game. He quarterbacked Washington. You know about their football championships between the 2 schools. They're trying to win one on the basketball floor, and Ryan Walters has the Cougar fans on their feet. He puts Ada in front for the first time.
And he's a good counterpart to Brad Evans, 6'2" and 6'1", both seniors, and Brad Evans played against the same Washington team 2 years ago in the state finals.
Batted down and stolen by Lamont Ware, who hit the 2 free throws, and look at Ada on the run. Blocked by Washington's Rico Watkins, and here come the Hornets. Out front, Meacham, the sophomore. Anderson in the corner. No look pass stolen by Walters. That's 3 turnovers in a row.
And that's packing that zone in there, Don, and that's exactly what Coach Anderson wants to happen. If you try to force it inside and you've got to reverse it, and you have to use some skip passes in order to get it open inside.
Let's take a look.
That's a great penetration, nice, and what a block coming in there from behind by Rico Watkins.
Must be fun to be athletic like that. I wouldn't know.
Wouldn't that be great just to be able to go up and block one like that sometime?
Turnaround by Anderson, no good. Nice rebound by Caulfield. At only 6 foot, he averages 6.5 rebounds a game. Evans gets the advantage, kicks it. Walters penetrates in the 15-footer. The Cougars have reeled off 6 straight.
And they have the ability to penetrate and find the open man. And when you find the open man down on penetration, the open man has got to move. Ada will move on the drives.
That cuts it 6-4 for Watkins, who has both Washington baskets.
But the heart and soul of this Cougar team has to be number 10 and number 11.
Yeah.
Because they are 2 very good guards, not real physical, handle the ball well, move the ball well.
And they need some open looks from 3. We're midway through the opening quarter. First of 4 state championship games today from the Mabee Center. And another block. Credit that one to Angelo Estes at 6'8". Hornets try to take the lead and do it.
And Levi Harris does that so well.
7-6, Booker T.
You know, with a spread defense like this, they are going to invite you. Booker T. Washington will invite you to make passes that you think are open, but they're going to be a hand in the passing lane when you get there.
Caulfield hits the deck and gets up. You can see that left knee brace. And he gets up rather gingerly as we get the turnover, and Booker T has the ball back, up by 1 with 3:07 to go. And I think Mike Anderson is going to pull Caulfield. He is. And check on him as Bubba Williams, a 6'2" junior, comes in for the injured player.
Interesting story on Chucky Caulfield. He was really mere quarterbacks in the state going into his junior year when he blew out his knee, and he's never been able to have total reconstruction on the knee, has never been able to come back and regain that same ability.
He comes from a very good athletic family. His sister playing for OU right now, Lanisha Caulfield. Brad Evans gets his first points of the game, and Ada's back in front, 8-7. This is a seesaw affair early in the first quarter.
Now, in order to cut that soft spot out, you'll notice that the number 33, Ware, is coming up a little higher than he was in the beginning.
A lot of patience is needed in this type of offense against this type of defense, I should say. Ooh. They'll call the foul here inside. Michael Honeycutt into the game, and I think he's the one. We'll see who gets whistled.
That's staying after the ball real tough. Honeycutt goes right back up, draws the foul, and you know when you're that big and strong and you get the ball right in the basket, you need to explode just like he did.
Williams commits the foul, and Honeycutt indeed going to the line. He had 3 points in the semi-win last night over Oklahoma City Southeast. Caulfield checks back in. We told you that Ada had that double overtime win against McAllister last week to get to the state tournament. Thursday afternoon, they beat 5th-ranked Ardmore by 8. And yesterday afternoon, beat top-ranked John Marshall 63-54 to get the Cougars into the state final.
Now we're getting a little more pressure out, extending the defense by the Hornets.
And when you have guys like Estes, Anderson, and Watkins underneath, you can allow them to get by you.
You can make some mistakes on the perimeter because they'll cover it up.
Harris, Meacham. Estes. Angelo Estes, a 6'8" senior with his first 2 points. He puts the Hornets back in front. He's heading to Colorado State this fall. And Mike Anderson closing in on 100 victories as the head coach. Anthony Mims comes into the game, number 12 for Booker T. Washington.
Well, when you see Angelo Estes go up on the glass like that, you can see why he is a Division I prospect.
Lamont Ware gets it across. Walters, nice move.
Once again, the outstanding play of Walters and Brad Evans. Exceptional job for Ada.
They have 6 of the 10 Ada points. Mims running the offense out front. Honeycutt couldn't handle the pass, and Evans comes away with a steal. He leads, or he's second in the team in that department. He leads the team in 6 assists a game and in scoring. So Brad Evans, very important, as is Caulfield, who draws the foul after elbowing Honeycutt in the mouth, and the junior goes to the line. Honeycutt making sure his teeth are still there.
Looked like he took quite a blow here. That's just a great penetration in there by Caulfield, and got an elbow there on him.
That one from that angle looked like it was short, and it just kept sailing. Nothing but the bottom for Caulfield, averaging 10.5 points a game. Good free throw shooter at 67%. He has his first points. Ada has their lead at 3.
And now it looks like Ada's extending their defense out. They're lining up 1-1-3, then dropping back into the 2-3.
Booker T. Washington won their 13th straight regional at home. Look at that shot with 30 seconds left. Honeycutt wrestles it away. Out of bounds, and the Ada fans wanted a foul on Estes. He was over the back of one of the players. Nothing called. Ada has it in the final 26 seconds. Reach-in foul's going to be called On 25, J.C. Seals, the 6'2 sophomore, comes into the game, and you certainly need a scorecard when Nate Evans and the Hornets come to your gym, because he'll play 10 guys, and that kind of wore Ada down 2 years ago.
Well, I tell you, Nate's got a great bench, and he utilizes it. He'll play 10, sometimes 12 players.
Walters with another look. He's got 6 to lead the Cougars. They have their biggest lead of the game. It's 14-9, and we're down to the final 5 seconds of the first quarter. Are they aware the clock's running out? They are, and Harris just short on the 25-footer. The 4th-ranked Ada Cougars leading the perennial power Washington Hornets after 1 from the Mabee Center on Cox Communications.
Tulsa Teachers Credit Union was founded in 1934 by teachers for teachers. Since teachers love working with students, TTCU is proud to offer membership to students and their families. Just as students grow, TTCU has grown to 4 locations with a full range of services like savings and checking accounts, consumer and real estate loans, Visa check cards, and For years, teachers in Northeast Oklahoma have given TTCU an A in financial services. And now we're an A+ because
students and their families can join.
For incredible savings on tough Ford trucks, head to Tulsa Auto Collections Ford Truck Month. We have over 1,500 tough Ford trucks, all price low to sell fast. Save $3,500 off MSRP on a new 2001 Ford Explorer 4-door. We have 60 at this discount. Or you can save $5,000 off MSRP on a new 2001 Ford Expedition. We have 70 at this discount. It's a stampede of savings going on now during Ford Truck Month at the Tulsa Auto Collection, the everyday low price place.
We now return to the Tulsa Auto Collection Game of the Week, exclusively on Cox Communications Channel 9.
And welcome back to the Mabee Center. After 1 period of play, Washington trailing Ada 14-9, and the Ada Cougars being led by Ryan Walters right now, their guard, bringing the ball up the court, handling the press. He's also got 6 points. He's also dishing it off, doing a great job to give Ada the 5-point lead after 1. And Don and JV, I find it interesting that Washington, who likes to run and gun, Nate Harris continues to tell him to slow things down a little bit.
Well, I think that's probably one of his game plans, Zig, that he would really like not to allow Ada to run, because the 2 little guards, Walters and Evans, they're as good as any 2 guards in the state, and transition is their game.
Well, we had 5 lead changes in the first quarter, and right now we're on the game's biggest run. Ada on a 6-0 stretch here, leading by 5, the biggest lead of the game. Walters out front against Harris. He's taking it to the Hornet defense. Ryan Walters with 8 points.
Keep in mind, yesterday in semifinal action, Booker T. Washington fell behind Southeast by 12, maybe 14 points at one time, and then came back with a great run. So in a game like this, a lead doesn't mean very much.
Walters had 10 points in the game yesterday. Angelo Estes uses his athletic ability.
And you put Angelo you put him on the box, Don, and he can score that way.
Caulfield, Ada's red hot. Caulfield, a 49% shooter from the field, bangs one in from the corner for 2, and Ada now leading by 7. Again, 18-11. We mentioned earlier, Washington won their 13th straight regional championship a couple of weeks ago. Honeycutt can't hang on to it. No whistle. Ada for the foul here. They beat Coweta by 32. They beat McLean by 1 in the regional championship. And how about the Scots making it to the state tournament with a losing record?
You can't ever count out the Scots. And once again in there on the replay, Michael Honeycutt doing a good job getting up and fighting the glass and maintaining control and ultimately throwing the foul.
That is Ada's 4th team foul. Washington already with 6. And Caulfield comes away. Takes it to Honeycutt, put it on the board, and send the junior to the line with another big-time play for the Cougars.
You really can see there that Chucky Caulfield, now he's got great balance. As he goes up, he takes the contact and is able to go ahead and really kiss it off the glass. But you can see, had he not had that injury, what a tremendous high school athlete he would have been.
Foul, obviously, on Honeycutt. That is his second. He'll take a seat, and Meacham, the sophomore, comes back in. Caulfield, he made some critical plays in the state tournament opener 2 years ago. Has made some nice plays here in the first half. And Ada with their biggest lead of the game at 20-11, a lead of 9, thanks to this run of 12-2. Minute and a half gone, second quarter. Nice work inside, and we'll shoot 2 more free-throws.
That's just a great pass in there by Mark Anderson. He catches it on the low post and then is able just to slip it off in there to Meacham. Yeah, to Meacham as he cuts in. Great pass by Anderson. Great vision.
Felico with his second personal. Here's a young man that I don't know how to put it. I don't want to put too much pressure on the young man, but he has the athletic ability, an outstanding wide receiver as a sophomore this year that helped take Washington Hornets to the state semifinals before they lost to eventual state champion Midwest City Carl Albert. This young man reminds me a lot of R.W. McWhorter, as a guy that is really going to be a big-time player when he gets done in both sports.
And just a good athlete. And if he were playing baseball, I'm sure he'd be equally successful. Wrestling, golf, tennis, you name it.
Caulfield, this time he gets called for the charge. Jeff Campbell makes the call. He is being assisted today by Ira Willis from the Tulsa area and Oklahoma City's Eugene Jackson.
You know, that was developing into a real good play, it looked like, because Ware was able to kick it off to Caulfield, but just good defense in there by the Hornets.
So after the Hornets dispatched the Coweta and McLean for the regional championship, they went to Jinx last Friday, and got a game winner at the buzzer to beat Claremore by 2 for their 23rd area championship. And then Thursday night here at the Thursday night at Sapulpa, defeated Oklahoma City Douglas for the 3rd time this year by 4 points. And then last night knocked off Oklahoma City Southeast. That one belongs to Washington. Certainly want to give it up to the Southeast Oklahoma City school. They've had a great turnaround.
Just great work on the board right there by Mark Anderson. He stayed right after it, ended up with possession.
Well, they are battling for the rebounds, and this one will go the other way with 5:31 to go, first half.
You know, when you battle that hard down on the glass, both teams, that takes a lot of energy out of it. Sometimes it just slows you down offensively.
Reach in on Harris. That'll be Levi's first personal. That'll be the team's 9th.
And 8 is the kind of basketball team you don't want to send them to the line any more than is necessary, because that was one of their keys yesterday in their win over John Marshall, was the fact that they hit those free throws in the 4th period.
Cougars were 21 out of 25 from the line yesterday. Brad Evans. Bullseye on both. He's got 4 points, but his guard, Ryan Walters, the other guard, has 8. They've got 12 with a 22. There's a look at the field goal shooting percentage.
73% for Ada. That's just on fire. 26% for Washington now. You can just rest assured those two will start to balance out in a few minutes.
The zone defense knocked Marshall out. I don't know that Washington is worried at this point, down by 10, 5 minutes to go before halftime. But they are having a problem. Watkins gets it in, his 6th point.
What they're trying to get you to do is to shoot the ball from outside and just prevent anything from happening inside, but they haven't worked entirely that way.
And when Washington, they were down by 9 in the first half to Oklahoma City Southeast. Walters can't connect, and Estes comes away with the rebound, and he flips it off to Meacham. And Washington didn't shoot the ball well in the first half, but late in the first half, they started shooting well, and then in the second half, they were lights out. I mean, they couldn't miss. And Nate Harris wants a 30-second timeout. Midway through the Second quarter here. Ada leading by 8. When you look at this 5A bracket this year, JB, this shows you how close, how tough it's been in Class 5A. All the way from the regional to the area to the state championship games. 22 of the 42 have been by 7 points or less. And 3 have gone into overtime. Let's go over to Mike Ziganor.
All right, thanks a lot, Don King. You know, the Hornets are trying to get inside on that zone defense that Ada has thrown at them. They're having a lot of success at, though, is rebounding the basketball. Already 16 rebounds for the Hornets here just before halftime. They're getting inside, they're pounding the glass. They just can't get that second and third shot to fall down.
Washington down by 8. They're still looking for their first three-point basket. In fact, we're looking for the first three-point basket of the game. First quarter, we had 5 lead changes, 1 tie. Ada went on a 8-0 run, and they have been on fire. I mentioned nobody's thrown in a 3 ball, and Levi obliges. Actually, I beg your pardon, that is his second. Now, we have had 2 threes from Harris in the game. He's at the 5. Look at Evans. Can't get the bounce. Inside, Lamont Ware working hard, and it pays off. He gets to go to the line for 2 freebies.
Lamont Ware does a great job for his 6'2" size. And he's a wide body, and you'll see him get in there and just really kind of spread out. He's able to get up and get the good rebound, and goes up and draws the foul. A good call in there by the official.
And that is the 3rd foul on Rico Watkins. So that is significant. As Ware is at the line.
You know, you look at the 2 coaches, both coaches graduated from the high school that they're coaching at. Mike Anderson went to the state finals as his senior year, and now he's back coaching, looking for a state championship. Coach Harris graduated from Washington, looking for his 9th state championship. Speaks well for the students.
Nate Harris can tie Verrill Franklin from Oklahoma City Millwood by winning 9 state championships as a head coach, and if that guy keeps popping them in, he's got a much better chance to do it. 23-20, Levi Harris with back-to-back threes.
Well, he keeps that up, and you're going to see adjustment on the defense. You just can't allow a guy to keep running.
Turnover on the Cougars, turning the ball over. Mike Anderson, as you said, played at Ada. Was an assistant for a long time, as you see the turnover graphic. Was a long-time assistant at Ada, or rather at OU for Billy Tubb. And Anthony Mims, who plays on the Booker T. Washington side, his dad was an assistant at OU as well, Mike Mims. And another 3 by Harris. Ada needs a timeout. Harris has 4 3-pointers. He's pulled off the bingo, bango, bongo here in the second quarter alone. 3 minutes to go, first half.
And as we said, that's when you have to come out of that zone. You may want to go into a box and 1 if you feel like you have to protect the paint, but not to go out. Levi Harris is certainly on a roll, and when he gets on one of those, he may hit 7 out of 10 or 8 out of 10.
We had a big shot in the area championship against Claremore last Saturday at Jinx. Look at the Hornets.
11-3 run over the last 2.5 minutes, but that's Hornet basketball, Don. We call so many games for them, and we know how explosive they are. You may be rocking along with a 10-point lead, and then Levi Harris will take that away from him in 3 shots.
Caulfield gets it, and a foul here called. Who's it going to be on? They'll call it on Washington. They'll call that one on Estes. That'll be his first. And Ada in the double bonus, and so Brad Evans heads back to the line.
And I think this is a good move by Coach Harris. He's starting to come with pressure, especially at half court. And once you get on a run offensively like Levi has put them on, sometimes the other team gets a little shaky. You come out and get a couple of steals.
And he really does that when you get late into the first half, doesn't he? He really tries to put the hammer down going into halftime.
But again, every time you foul Ada, you are going to lose some points.
Well, Evans is certainly dead on. 4 of 4 from the line for him, and Ada's back in front by 2. In fact, they scored their last 6 points from the free throw line and lead by a deuce. Harris from 18. He's red hot. Levi with 11.
Well, that time Caulfield came out and got on him, forced him to his left, but he just takes it to just about a 15-foot jumper instead.
Harris with 11 points, 3 threes in the game. I think I might have mentioned 4 earlier.
Good defense by the Hornets coming in here, flipping it out from behind, but just were not quite able to gain control.
There's a 3. That grazes the rim, and Quentin Chaney, a freshman, comes into the game. 6'6" freshman, Quentin Chaney. Nate always uses his bench.
He knows they're trying to get the ball in Levi Harris's hand.
Why not? Belito had the rebound, tipped away. Washington off the glass, it won't go. Ada with a nice outlet pass, and Walters will hold it off. Needs help. And Washington starting to turn up the heat, aren't they? Levi Harris, preseason All-State player, averaged 14 a game. He's got 13, and the Hornets are back in front by 2.
And that young man has just played one exceptional quarter, talking about Levi Harris.
6th lead change of the game. The lead can't get the bunny, but it's tipped in. Nice job by Lamont Ware. He's got 5 points in the game.
And you know, on that screen then, it looked like maybe that Robert Meacham helped him just a little bit.
We get down to the final minute of the first half. And that certainly gives us a chance to send out our thoughts and best wishes to a great friend, Tommy Thompson, who is at St. Francis today. He would normally be here, the tournament director of the Oklahoma's Best Tournament, longtime assistant for Nate Harris and you, right, at Edison?
Yes.
So we're certainly thinking of Tommy Thompson today. 14-footer, Mark Anderson gets the first 2 for him. Hornets by 2, and what do we got? A reach-in foul on Chaney.
And that's really just turning up the tempo. And if you noticed, Ada went back to a 1-2-2 zone, and in doing the 1-2-2, I guess they felt like they could keep a little more pressure out there on Levi Harris to maybe just slow him down a little.
Evans, 89% from the free throw line.
Just automatic,
That's
isn't it?
strong.
He's got that real nice release, good body balance.
That one hits the rim. That's an oddity for him. He's got 6 of 6 from the line. We're tied again, 29 all. 5th tie of the game. 6 lead changes in this first half. A rematch from the '99 state championship at the Lloyd Noble. Tipped away, and here comes Walters. 10 seconds. Evans for the 3-ball. Bang! He hit it. And our first half has come to a close. How about that? Our first of 4 games today from the Mabee Center. The 2001 state championships are underway from Tulsa, and the Ada Cougars, ranked 4th in the state, lead the 8th-ranked Washington Hornets of Tulsa by a score of 32-29. The 3-pointer by Brad Evans, their first 3 of the first half, gives them the lead at intermission. Very entertaining first half, with 7 lead changes and 5 ties. And Mike Ziegenhorn has one of the coaches with him.
All right, thanks a lot, Don. Nate Harris, you guys battled your way back from 8 down, and then you turn it over there in the last 20 seconds, and they take the lead on you.
Well, that's true. Ada's a good basketball team, so we've got to play. They played a zone defense, which kept us on the outside. We've got to get more inside. That's the bottom line.
Levi Harris really lighting it up. He's got 16 points.
Well, he's a talented player. We feel like we've got a complete basketball team. We got here to the finals playing as a team, and we're going to continue to do that.
All right, Nate, good luck in the second half.
Thank you very much.
Nate Harris, Don, and JV, they trail by 3 at the break, 32-29.
A lot of basketball still left. We are glad you are with us from the Mabee Center. The 2001 state championships continue on Cox Communications.
Hitting a free throw is really pretty easy until you have 8,000 screaming fans breathing down your neck. Pressure changes things. At the Tulsa Auto Collection, they understand that. So they've gotten rid of the things that can cause pressure. Nobody's on commission, so you don't have to battle over price. Their best price and low price is clearly posted right on the car. They call it hassle-free. I call it a slam dunk. The Tulsa Auto Collection, designed around you.
Every Wednesday night, Tulsa does a 180. For more information, call the info line at 234-8180. That's 234-8180. 180. Where have you been?
It's despicable. Children up all hours of the night, on the internet, struggling to finish their homework. At-Man to the rescue. Cox at Home high-speed cable internet zaps draggy downloads, and you get everything for one low price, including email and content like Homework Helper. Order Cox at Home today to get free installation and $10 off per month for 3 months. Your kids will thank you.
Thanks, At-Man.
Don't mention it. Cox at Home. It's where the A's are at, man.
It's a high-tech world out there, and it's picking up speed every day. Are you ready? Tulsa Technology Center has hundreds of ways to prepare you for success in the workplace and to make sure businesses get the qualified workers they need. From the nationally recognized Transportation 2000 and Craftsmanship 2000 programs to state-of-the-art medical, aviation, and business and industry training, Tulsa Tech has been bringing business and education together for over 30 years. Tulsa Technology Center, preparing people for success.
We now return to the Tulsa Auto Collection Game of the Week, exclusively on Cox Communications Channel 9.
Welcome back. Time of the 5A state championship game for the boys between Ada and Washington, and the Cougars and the Hornets hooked up in a seesaw battle. Ada with a three-pointer near the end of the first half to lead 32-29. One game coming up right after this one, and it will be the 6A girls championship between Jinx, the defending state champs, and #1 ranked Tahlequah. Before we talk about that game, in fact, we will talk about that game with Mike Ziegenhorn.
All right, thanks a lot, Don King. Definitely March Madness. Great basketball going on this week right here in the city of Tulsa. Not only the WAC tournament, but the 5A and 6A boys and girls action. As you mentioned, the 6A girls state final coming up next. Jinx and Tahlequah. And the Tahlequah coach zoned out on your name right now. Ronnie Rogers. I knew that. Ronnie, thank you very much. Got too much stuff going on. Congratulations to get this far.
Appreciate it. We're glad to be here.
Talk about playing Jinx, the defending state champs. They got a new head coach, and here they are back in it again. You guys got your hands full, don't you?
Oh, yes. You know, Jinx has always got the good tradition. Like I say, they were state championships last year. They just wanted to kind of put us out in the area tournament last year, and we feel very pleased to be here, and hopefully we can represent our conference real well.
And then your team, you guys are here. You went to the finals in '99. You lost to Westmore, but you got to be happy the way your team's performing.
Yes. You know, we went state tournament and got beat Westmore in the finals when most of these kids were sophomores, and unfortunately for us, we wasn't able to make it back last year as juniors, but we've got some eager seniors. It feels like that this is time for their gold ball.
Who should the fans look out for on your squad today that's going to step up?
Well, hopefully they'll all step up. I had a little challenge last night, you know, halftime, and we wasn't playing too well the first half last night, and I kind of challenged them to step up last night, and all 5 of them, you know, stepped up for us real well. But we're just overall, we're not got any really outstanding kids, as for to speak, but we just have 5 kids that, you know, play well together.
Well, I need to let you go because I know you got to save your voice for that game, but good luck this afternoon.
We appreciate it. Thank you much.
All right. Ronnie Rogers, the head coach of Tahlequah girls basketball. Don, that one's coming up right after this one.
All right, coming up 2 more games tonight. We'll talk about those as well. Stay with us. It's a day long of basketball. We hope you enjoy it from Cox Communications.
For incredible savings on tough Ford trucks, head to Tulsa Auto Collections Ford Truck Month. We have over 1,500 tough Ford trucks, all price low to sell fast. Save on a new 2001 Ford F-150XL regular cab. It's priced at just $14,995. We have 50 at this price. Save $3,000 off MSRP on a new 2001 Ford F-150 Super Crew 4x2. We have 40 at this discount. It's a stampede of savings going on now during Ford Truck Month at the Tulsa Auto Collection, the low price place.
There's a lot of features on here that I really liked, especially the favorite button. You can schedule your favorite channels on there and go from one to the other without going back to the menu. It gives you so many options, and there's always something to watch. Cox Cable has done a wonderful job with their service people. They were on time, very personable. The price was a little surprising. I'd always thought that digital cable would be much more expensive.
Call now to get free digital installation plus $10 off any digital package for 3 months.
It's more than just the way your home looks. It's how your home feels. For an unsurpassed collection of style and taste, visit one of the largest ceramic tile showrooms in South Tulsa, Carpet Center at 121st and South Memorial. Our large selection of unique ceramic tile are available for viewing. We invite you to stop by and enjoy our showroom of designer carpets, ornate area rugs, and decorative ceramic tiles. Carpet Center, 121st and Memorial in South Tulsa, your decorating showplace.
Welcome back to the Mabee Center, an arena that was built in the early 70s and still just as beautiful as when it first opened. Let's take a look at the highlights here of the first half between the 4th-ranked Cougars and the 8th-ranked Hornets. Take a look at the numbers, J.B. Haney. What do you think?
Well, we knew that they were going to get together a little closer on shooting percentage. 8 is still shooting a remarkable 56%. 41% is not bad for Washington, but the free throw is so important. 8, 11 out of 13. Washington only had 4, but Washington is controlling the boards 17-11.
Well, we'll step aside and come back for the second half in a moment.
For incredible savings on tough Ford trucks, head to Tulsa Auto Collections Ford Truck Month. We have over 1,500 tough Ford trucks, all price low to sell fast. Save $3,500 off MSRP on a new 2001 Ford Explorer 4-door. We have 60 at this discount. Or you can save $5,000 off MSRP on a new 2001 Ford Expedition. We at this discount. It's a stampede of savings going on now during Ford Truck Month at the Tulsa Auto Collection, the everyday low price place.
For many years, many men have dreamed of being sent in by the coach to win the game. In reality, it can be tough out there, and injuries do occur. If you're unfortunate enough to experience an injury, make sure you're fully recovered before you get back into the game. If you don't, you could find yourself at the bottom of the heap without a leg to stand on. Everyone loves a hero, so take care and be one. This message brought to you by the Eastern Oklahoma Orthopedic Center.
I just love to have fun with my children. The Disney Channel, the History Channel, a lot of learning channels. Because I do care about what they're watching on television, it's great having the parental control that you can block certain channels out that you don't want them to have access to. Just for $6 more a month, it's incredible what you can have with it.
Call now to get free digital installation plus $10 off any digital package for 3 months.
We now return to the Tulsa Auto Collection Game of the Week, exclusively on Cox Communications Channel 9.
Welcome back, John King, along with J.B. Haney, who guided the Edison Eagles to state final. And here are the top scorers for the Ada Cougars. No surprise there with Evans on top with 11. Walters right behind him in Caulfield. That's normal for Ada. Levi Harris, those 16 markers, 13 in the second quarter. He's got 4 3-pointers in the game. You saw Watkins right behind him. He shoots the 3. He's got 3 fouls, so he needs to watch it. Rebound Caulfield. He's triple teamed in the backcourt.
Didn't see much adjustment there on that particular sequence, Don, coming back out in the 2-3 zone for Ada.
18-footer, and it is clean for Caulfield. Ada up by 5.
I think both teams is pretty well settled in on what they wanted to do against one another, and I don't think there's going to be a great deal of adjustments. Nate Harris and Washington still trying to take the ball in, but you see the 2-3 zone packed in tight.
That one won't go, and Harris gets to go to the line for 2 freebies. Well, in the first half, there were 7 lead changes and 5 ties, and yet Washington's biggest lead of the first half was 2, and Ada's biggest lead was 9, thanks to an 8-0 run. And the Hornets came back with a run of their own of 11-2, and that got the game seesawing again until Evans hit that 3-pointer near the end of the first half. And then the basket by Caulfield as 8 up by 5. Harris misses the first free throw. He had 16 last night to lead Washington, and he has his 17th point today. 34-30. Ada with the ball in a 4-point margin. Just starting the second half.
And Washington trying to extend the defense out, just a little more pressure outside.
Nice move by Walters. He just kind of finds a spot, doesn't he?
Well, Walters and Evans are 2 of the better guards in the state of Oklahoma in any classification. And they really don't appear that good if you just glance and watch them a little bit, but they do everything right.
Even though Ada has had some down times in basketball, this is their 26th appearance in the state tournament. Overall record, 23 and 22. And that 15-footer too strong. Last touched by Washington, apparently, and Ada maintains custody.
Ada is a very methodic team. They pretty much know their capabilities and what they want to do, and Mike Anderson's done a good job of getting them in that particular sequence.
Wow. Basket inside by Bolito, and Ada is finding the cracks in the Washington defense and making the Hornets pay. Leading by 8. However, Washington continues to pound it inside, use their height advantage and their leaping ability and drawing some fouls, and now it's Mark Anderson to the line.
One of the big keys in the second half, Don, is going to be right there. It's a 15-foot mark on the free throw line. And Washington once again trying to pound it inside to get it to Anderson, and he goes up and draws a foul, but if you don't knock the free throws down, it doesn't help you a whole lot.
Well, Anderson did knock the first one down as Anthony Mims comes on. Talked about his dad earlier, an assistant at OU with Mike Anderson, who's now the head coach at Ada, and Anderson has 4 points to match his season average. And Washington has 3 or 4 free throws here in the third quarter to pull within 6. 6 minutes to go, third quarter. Ware way off the mark, and here come the Hornets. Harris controlling the offense from 22. Mott couldn't pass it to anybody, so he just dribbles out of trouble. Meacham falls down and keeps dribbling, then has it wiped away by Walters, but he was on the pace, or on the end line, the sideline.
Don, that's a sequence of high school basketball in Oklahoma at its best. If you could ask for any more hustle and any more work than those kids were going through there. Great move in order to get the ball off by Walters, but look at him coming out, maintains control. Meacham does. Hustle for it out of bounds. That's just, you can't ask for any more work from your kids than that.
History in the making here today for the Washington Hornets. Anthony Mims with his first points of the game. He had 4 in the semi-win last night. He pulls Booker T. Washington within 4. If the Hornets win today, they will have won their 12th state championship in boys basketball. Nobody would have won more in the state. They are tied with Oklahoma City Millwood and Tulsa Central with 11 state championships to their credit in boys basketball. Anderson cleans the glass for Booker T. And if the Hornets win today, Nate Harris, their head coach, will have won 9 of those 12 state championships. Mims gets fouled beyond the arc, and he goes to the line for 3.
Well, both teams are going to shoot the ball quick if they get the opportunity. Washington coming in a press, but Ada's been able just to solve it real quickly and get the numbers and get a pretty good shot on the other end.
Walters commits his second personal. And Mims to the line. Nate Harris would tie Oklahoma City Millwood's Vero Franklin with 9 state championships as a head coach. The most in state history.
You know, the Green Country Conference, so tough. Coach Harris's Hornets finished, what, 3rd or 4th in the conference?
Yep.
Here they are in the state finals.
Anthony Mims with 4 straight points. Washington with 6 consecutive points. They're pulled to an end 2, and Caulfield draws another foul. This one on Anderson.
And that's a great athletic move in there by Caulfield. You'll see him now. Anderson's pretty well established. He has to move a little, but Caulfield will veer a little in the air to his left, making absolutely sure that the movement occurs on the defense, and the blocking foul is called. Good move by Caulfield. A lot of times when a penetration like that, Don, the dribbler will just absolutely go the other direction, but Caulfield floating to his left really draws the defense into committing the blocking foul.
Chucky Caulfield, 2 of 4 from the line today. He played in the state championship game, I believe, 2 years ago, but did not score a point. Yeah, you mentioned the Green Country Conference with Washington finishing 4th. You look in this conference, JB, or you look in Oklahoma City area, and the conference down there with Douglas and Oklahoma City Southeast and John Marshall, and what a conference that is. And to see that none of those teams are able, although they made the semis, none of them can make the finals. This goes to show you that it's not about 1 or 2 losses and being top ranked all year. It certainly helps you get here, but it's all about getting ready as Watkins gets in a finger roll, getting ready toward the end of the year. Ada's got 6 losses. Washington has 9.
And Ada was not even picked in preseason. Did up a pretty good position in the Final Four. They were number 4.
2 years ago, they didn't enter the rankings until mid-January and were able to weave their way into the state finals. And here they are again under Mike Anderson. That's the 4th foul on Rico Watkins.
Just a reach in. Just a reach in. Brad Evans is going to penetrate, and you're going to have to square up on him. You can't reach.
Evans had 22 yesterday in the semifinal win. He's got 12 in this game and a perfect 8 of 8 from the line. Trying to keep his team ahead, and he does. He's got him up by 3. Well, when you think of Washington and all the state championships they have produced, 11, they have produced a lot of great athletes. We'll run down some of the names later. When you think of Ada basketball, you've got to go back 22 years ago to the State Player of the Year, Bo Overton. He was one of the best. Nice basket by Estes from about 10 feet. He's got a half dozen in the game.
For most people who follow high school athletics, when you mention Ada, you always think of football, but they've had some outstanding basketball players and teams as well.
Meacham on the foul, his first, 3:19 to go in the 3rd. Ada will inbound here, leading by 1.
You see a good crossover dribble. That's what both Walters and Evans are able to do. They cross over quickly. They take it behind their back quickly. They take it between their legs, and you're just not going to be able to come up and just one-on-one and hurt them.
Ada's in the finals for the 7th time. They won 3 state championships in basketball, beat Enid in 1940, the Huskins 62. Look at that block by Estes. That's the 5th Washington block today. 3-pointer. Mims lights it up. He's got 7 in the third alone. And the Hornets have the lead back, 43-41. At the 3-minute mark of the third period. And Ada throws it away.
And the trapping defense causing the errors in there. A good trap by Levi Harris and Mims.
You see the Booker T. Washington side on the far side behind the Washington bench. Ada has brought quite a bit with them from South Central Oklahoma.
You know,
let's go over to Mike Zieggenort.
All right, thanks a lot, Don King. Booker T really turned up the pressure here in the second half, taking up some full court pressure and some half court pressure, causing Ada to turn the ball over. And they also have 4 blocks on the afternoon, the Hornets do. And then Anthony Mims coming off the bench now. He's got 7 points here in the third quarter alone. He's as hot as Levi Harris was in that second quarter.
This game very similar to the one 2 years ago as Estes knocks that one in. That pulled his team to within 1. Mims hit the 3 ball to give Washington the lead. And it is our 8th lead change of the game. Caulfield dribbling out of trouble. Nice job by Washington to pick up the press, even though they missed the shot, and it pays off. 4 on 2. It's getting helter-skelter here. Meacham has Levi, who's hit already 4 threes, double pump, and look at that. That's what he was doing last night, and everything was falling, and it's going in today.
Well, when Washington gets on a roll and their pressure defense comes out, they are a tough basketball team.
And they've scored 7 in a row, but a foul here, I guess, called on Estes.
I believe it was on Angelo Estes coming up and getting a body foul there.
Ada didn't like it. They had the breakaway basket. It's Levi Harris.
And he has done it all. There he gets those threes from outside. That was a second quarter action, and just as soon as he could get it, he can drill it. And this is one going out at the half off the glass. That's a great play. Down in the third period, he just moves over on the other side and does it again.
He leads all scorers with 19. Ada gets it back from Ryan Walters. It's a deuce. He's got a dozen. It's 45-43. This is a similar game than what we had 2 years ago, Coach Haney, and Washington kind of wore Ada out at the end and won that game by a dozen. Walters, nice slap away. Look at that guard tandem work. Evans to Walters. And we are tied at 45.
And once again, showing you the 2 senior guards, Walters and Evans, just how good they are and how they complement one another at their positions for Ada.
They have half of Ada's points. They've combined for 27. Harris on the other end for Washington has 19. And Anthony Mims, another guard, has come in with 7 points here in the third quarter. So it has been a guard-dominated game, has it not?
When you have great depth like Nate Harris does at Washington, you just feel like that there's someone going to be on and being able to drop it in the net for you, you know, in every period. Someone's going to be kind of dominating.
The Cougars and Ryan Walters, 14 points. He's got 6 here in the third quarter.
And look at that body control and the finger roll. That's a very, very difficult layup to hit. And he misses the defender, goes back into the lane, and then he's got that little backspin finger roll to make it drop. 14 points and 5 steals. It's not a bad 3 quarters work.
Not a bad day's work for a senior in the state championship game. I mentioned Bo Overton a moment ago, the 1979 State Player of the Year from Ada. He's now an OU women's assistant. And Lanisha Caulfield, Chucky's older sister, is playing for the Women's Sooners for Sherry Cole. And they're off to a great start. They're having a great year. Mark Anderson gets his 6th point. He's on his way to a football scholarship at Alabama. Evans tries to counter at the other end. Can't do it. Estes had the rebound. It ping-pongs around into the hands of Levi Harris.
Yeah, that was Ryan Walters in there, the little guard that deflected it right there at the last moment. Almost came up with a good play.
Down to the final seconds. of period number 3. It was a 3-point game at halftime. Ada with the lead. Washington has now taken a 2-point lead. Are you kidding me? He almost made that. Harris off the glass. He's got 21, the lead all scorers, and we are heading to the final 8 minutes of regulation to see who will capture the 2001 gold ball. Will it be Ada for the 4th time or Washington for the 12th time? Stay tuned. The state championships continue.
Nip in the air, changing leaves, can only mean one thing.
It's football season!
It's also home heating season at Airco Service, the name you've trusted since 1961.
I have the dish, the big screen, the recliner.
He also has a reliable, high-efficiency Lennox furnace.
Yep, this season this is the best seat in the house, baby.
And thanks to Airco Service, it's also the warmest.
Lennox, one less thing to worry about.
Hitting a free throw is really pretty easy until you have 8,000 screaming fans breathing down your neck. Pressure changes things. At the Tulsa Auto Collection, they understand that. So they've gotten rid of the things that can cause pressure. Nobody's on commission, so you don't have to battle over price. Their best price and low price is clearly posted right on the car. They call it hassle-free. I call it a slam dunk. The Tulsa Auto Collection, designed around you.
We now return to the Tulsa Auto Collection Game of the Week, exclusively on Cox Communications Channel 9.
And we're back. Washington leading at 49-45 as we go into the final quarter of action. The Hornets outscoring Ada in that quarter 20-13. They caught fire in the last half of that third period. They took control of this basketball game. Don and JV Washington really turned up the heat on Ada. That forced a few turnovers, and it really got their offense cooking where they were hitting shots, taking the lead, and forcing Ada into some bad turnovers.
You are so right, Mike Ziegenhorn, and right now Ada trying to play Washington's game a bit by picking up the tempo. Coming up next, the 6A Girls State Championship, so don't dare go away after this one. The defending state champion Jinx Trojans against the #1 ranked Tahlequah Tigers. 6A girls action this afternoon after this game, and then later tonight, 2 more games to follow. At the line, Chucky Caulfield. You mentioned JB was a quarterback. Ada's won more state championships in football than any school with 19.
Oh, they have just been phenomenal. But the free throws, Don, is going to be so crucial in the 4th period.
Well, mark Ada down. They're 2 of 2.
A lot of people don't realize about Ada High School that they've had a great tennis program at Ada High School. Won a lot of state champions there.
86 miles from Oklahoma City and Pontotoc County. 122 miles, 2-hour drive from Tulsa. Harris, speaking of driving, he drives in and hits the 6-footer, and he is feeling it. He's got 23. A guy that averaged around 14 a game. He was not their predominant scorer throughout the year. It's really kind of strange as that dribbles off Ware's foot. Every night it seemed like somebody else would kind of pick it up for Washington. They were really looking for somebody, in my mind, to be a little more consistent scorer, and Harris has kind of done that late in the year.
You know, he really has done it, and you can't take anything away from Anthony Mims because he made such a significant contribution in the 3rd quarter. That last play, that was a good defensive play by Angelo Estes, which caused the turnover. Now, Coach Harris is wanting him to come out and maybe pick him up man and get out of that zone defense. He started doing this really late in the 3rd period. He's got a 4-point lead, and he wants to, of course, protect it, but he wants him to come out so he can use his quickness.
Washington, I mentioned, 18-9 on the season. 2 of their 9 losses were the tournament in St. Louis. Meacham apparently draws the foul, and he'll go to the line for 2, and the foul's going to be called on the Cougars. Let's see which one. I think it's Ware, 33.
Yeah, that ball. Ware was moving, but that's what Coach Harris wants to do. He wants to pull them out and then be able to penetrate, maybe lay down or go ahead and take the shot, but you have to hit the free throws if that works for you.
Yeah, they did it last night. Sean Moran crunching the numbers. Ada 2 of 2 from the line in the fourth. Meacham trying to make it 1 of 2 for the Hornets. Can't do it. Rebound Ware, who committed the foul. And the Hornets have the ball, or rather the Cougars have the ball down by 4. It's their biggest deficit of the game. Almost a walk. Nice pass. Belito, and the no-look pass. He's got 6 points.
I'll tell you, if they're not recruiting these two guards, why someone's missing the boat, because that time Evans had that look away, Don. Really took everyone by surprise when he laid it down on the baseline.
9 lead changes in the game and 6 ties. Estes tries to force it. Cougars get it. Come back. A deuce will tie it. 6 minutes to go. Almost another walk. Walters for 3. Anderson makes sure nobody grabs it. I told Anderson before the game that if it was Gladiator, my money would be on him. He is a warrior inside for Booker T. Washington. It's been fun watching him.
I tell you what, this has been a fun team to follow all year long, Don. There's so much talent, and they do so many different things, and they're just fun to watch.
And when you come into a 5-state tournament, JV, and you've got to butt heads with John Marshall's Tommy Griffin, Nate Harris, Mike Anderson at Ada, Terry Scott at Central, Luther Peggy's, boy, you are in for a long day's work.
You got a lot of experience and a lot of great coaches.
Ada gets it to go and pulls back to within 2. Ryan Walters again. He's got 16.
Levi Harris on a great drive, come right back, and Walters gets it. You mentioned that, Don, really guard-oriented so far.
Harris on the other end, 25 points. He had a career-high 33 in a game early in the season. I think it might have been the season opener, actually. And the three-pointer, Harris again. No. On 1 foot. Mims tried to put it in. Caulfield has Walters ahead. And we are tied again. Well, is this setting the stage for a big day at the Mabee Center?
This is championship basketball in Oklahoma, Don, and you can't get it any better than what we're seeing here in the Mabee Center now.
Timeout, Washington. You also got to give it up to the Ada Cougars. I mean, this is a 5A class, JB, that has been predominantly Tulsa Public Schools and Oklahoma City Public Schools. I mean, those two have really dominated 5A. And Ada has gotten in now in the finals for the second time in 3 years under Mike Anderson. I mean, 4 years ago, they went 4-19. He has been able to turn them around in the finals, second time in 3 years, as we head back over to Zoo.
Nate Harris talked about working it inside in the second half. His team had trouble doing that in the first half. They had a little bit of success in the third quarter. Now that they've slowed things down, they aren't doing it very much at all. But in the third quarter, they had a lot of success working it inside. Angelo Estes, Mark Anderson, and then, of course, Levi Harris with the bucket there. He's got 25 of the points for this basketball squad. He is leading the way, Don and JV. He is on fire. They're going to keep stretching it out and see it just maybe get a breakdown and get an easy layup.
Thank you, Zig.
Well, for those watching at home, Don, they better get that soft drink and popcorn and just sit back, because we're going to have 4 minutes here that it's going to be outstanding.
Points in the paint, Nate has held their own. I'm somewhat surprised by that.
Well, you know, you have to count in the paint when you just go down there and let the layup. That's in the paint, and they've got several of those breakaways during the course of the season. But it's going to be interesting. The tempo is going to be picked up here. I'm sure Washington's not going to stay with the slowness.
Finger roll from Meacham. Looked like he was going to pass and then decided to flip it up. And he breaks the tie. He's got 3 points. 55-53. 3:53 to go. Cougars trying to win their first state championship in boys basketball since 1982, when they knocked off Oklahoma City Millwood, who had won 4 straight in a row at that time. Lamont Ware backing in. Nice job, but he can't quite get it to go, and Meacham gets the rebound and then gets fouled.
Well, that was a good move in there by Lamont Ware. He was able to kind of back him in, pivot a little bit, and drop step him, but just couldn't get it to fall.
Second foul.
Drop step up under. That's a good move, Don, but just missed the shot.
Third foul on Belito. There's the team reset. Possession arrow belongs to Washington. Washington has 5 team fouls, and so does Ada. Mims, he's feeling it. It took an extra bounce, and how did Washington come up with that? They had 2 guys underneath that missed it, and athletically, Anderson somehow got back and tipped it out front. What a play. Walters has to come out.
And Levi Harris just kind of intimidating right there as he works on Ryan Walters back and forth. Almost fell, but eventually drawing in just to commit the foul.
That's the 16th foul on the Cougars. And Washington wants another timeout. Washington certainly known for their athletics, but they certainly need to be saluted for their academics as well. They had 4 academic all-stars recently named academic all-staters. Rachel George, Allison Green, Anil Tainer, and David Young. Certainly want to salute those because Washington has won a few academic state championships as well.
You see Mike Anderson, he's trying to get his kids together. He realizes the last 3 minutes here, it's going to be a stretch run. Free throws are going to be important. Every turnover is going to be important, and every shot is going to be important. Now, when you get down to this point, you got to have good looks, and you've just got to be able to maintain your composure in the final moments.
Mike Anderson played in a state championship game in I believe it was 82 when they beat Millwood. He coached in the national championship game in 88 when OU played Kansas. And here he is for the second time as a head coach of the Ada Cougars in the state championship game. And he said of all of that, he said that area championship double overtime win against McAllister 98-93 was the most exhausting game he's ever been involved in.
Well, you can imagine that.
You bet. Meacham with the left hand. It circles in, and the Hornets lead by 7. It's their biggest lead of the game. Or lead by 4, excuse me. 57-53.
Good active defense there by the Hornets, giving them another possession. And you can think right now that Nate might really kind of pull it out and maybe hold on to it an extra few seconds.
Harris past Walters. They'll call the reach in. And I think Levi's grinning. I think he got a call right there. We'll see maybe on the replay. Might be on Caulfield. That'll be his 3rd, and that's the 7th on the Cougars. Let's watch.
That's a great move. You can't tell coming in from behind which one he called it on, but a great move in there by Levi Harris. But it's not if you don't hit your free throws.
Washington had this trouble a little bit at the tail end last night. They hit free throws until it got to about the last minute or 2, and then they had a few dribble off like that. Although they beat Southeast by 4. Here they lead by 4. Ada needs a basket. We approach the 2-minute mark. 4th quarter of the 2001 5A state championship. Cougars 21-6 on the season. Washington 18-9.
When you get to the end of a ball game like this, in this kind of a game, if you've got good guards like Ada, you're always in it.
Evans trying to go over Estes and draws the foul. Takes a lot of courage to go in there against the taller Hornet players in this type of situation, doesn't it?
Well, when you feel confident that you can hit the free throw, you're going to go in there and get the foul. And that wasn't a hard bump. He, it knocked him down, but it wasn't a real deliberate type foul. And your good guards, John, really like to do this because they go up to the line. There's no one guarding them up there. They never get the good open shots, so they go in there and get the easy ones.
Evans is 11 of 11 J.B. Haney numbers from the free throw line, and the Cougars today are 18 of 21. Yesterday they were 21 of 25. That is a combined 39 of 46 from the line. That's staggering. Well, the Hornets have a lead by 2. A minute and a half to go. Look at this. Oh, he missed it, but he tipped it out to Mims. Meacham travels. He knew it when he did it. And the Hornets have turned it over.
You know, they had a great play set up there, but just couldn't quite get the closer. They couldn't get the final execution of it. Now you got the ball back into the good guards of Ada.
What do you do here? Melt the clock or just go for 2?
Well, no, when you're behind by 2, you've got to go take your shot. You can't wait too long.
3 ball. Offside rebound by Harris. Walters had a nice look. Couldn't get it to go. We're in the final minute of the 2001 5A Boys State Championship. If Washington gets fouled, it's a 1-on-1. Look at that. In the final 46 seconds. Oh, my goodness. A no-look behind the net pass, if you will, to the baseline. Are you kidding me?
I'm telling you what, you couldn't. That is just, and that was a good pass. It wasn't an erratic pass.
I just can't believe he made it.
You know, you would think Mark Anderson maybe would have gotten that down, but once again, same old situation. Now, have to get that free throw.
They've missed their last 3. Oh, I beg your pardon. They've missed their last 5. This one's a big one right here. Oh, he barely hit iron. Ada with a second chance to tie the game or take the lead. 40 seconds remaining. Evans out front. Caulfield 23 and Walters on the other side. Blocked by Meacham. There's not a seat that's not being filled right now. Everybody is on their feet. Timeout. 26 seconds remaining. 5 months of practice and games. And it's come down to the final 26 seconds.
And what a block by Robert Meacham. And that could be a game winner, Don, because they have been hitting, the Ada guards have been hitting those penetrating off the glass finger roll drives. And Meacham came across that time and just spiked it like a volleyball player. But you still got a long 26 and a half seconds remaining.
Take a look at the athletic ability of Robert Meacham, only a sophomore.
He comes from across the lane and lets the ball get loose there. It's already been shot by Walters. It's up in the air, and then he makes absolutely sure he doesn't foul.
He made sure he had already waited on the commitment, and then
he wasn't going after the arm. He's going after the ball, but I think you got to give some credit in there as well to Chucky Caulfield. He penetrates the paint and brings everyone in and then kicks it off.
There's the reset for you with 26 and a half seconds left. 9 lead changes, 7 ties in this game. It has been a dandy to start the first of 4 from Tulsa. Caulfield penetrates, elevates, can't celebrate. Washington gets the rebound and the foul with 10 and a half seconds to go.
Well, again, that was set up well by Ada. They bring it out. They get it to Caulfield. He's able to penetrate. Got the good look on about a 15-foot jumper. Wasn't able to make it go down, but you're right back in the same situation. You've got to hit these free throws.
And remember, he missed the last 2. Washington has missed their last 7, I believe, from the line. They beg your pardon, the last 6. They are 0 of 6 from the line in the 4th quarter.
And that was just a great, strong, up hard, down hard rebound in there by Mark Atkinson. And, of course, both coaches want to talk this over, Don.
And it's the 9th team foul on Ada, so they're not shooting 2. This is a 1-and-1 situation, up by 2. Now watch Nate Harris. Well, let's go with Mike Anderson. What's he going to do? Let's listen.
May not make it. He doesn't make it. We're in special 3 anyway. Take the first good shot. If you've got it off the screen, take it. If you've got the shot you like, take it. We're running special 3 unless we're 4 down. We're 4 down.
this, guys. Go. 1, 2, 3. 2.
Nate Harris, 10 seconds away from Oklahoma history for the school and for him.
And Mike Anderson covering all bases. If you're 3 down, you do this. You run the special if you're 2 down. And the kids are organized. They know what to do.
Anderson didn't waste any time. It's rebounded by Ada. A 3 would win it. A 2 will tie it. 5 seconds. Caulfield inside. Yes, we're tied, and we go to overtime. How about that? Well, the Jinx and Tahlequah girls will have to go back to their locker room and take a seat for a little while. We're not quite done with the first of 4.
No, we've got a 4-minute overtime here, but the free throw's so important. You know, right here, I thought they hesitated a second. Ada did, maybe expecting the second free throw to come, but once they got it solved, the penetration there by Evans gets it over to Caulfield, and he's going to take it to the hole. No foul, nothing's going to be called there. And Caulfield just real strong, left-handed. Good square up on the defense, but you don't get those calls in the closing seconds.
Well, now, you don't mind putting Washington at the free throw line, do you? They're 0 for 7 since the third quarter.
You know, it actually just took one of those free throws throughout that long stretch there that maybe we would not be in the overtime. But that's the way you play basketball. That's it.
Leading scorer for Ada, Ryan Walters with 18, Evans with 15, and Caulfield with 13. None bigger, obviously, than the one with 2 seconds left that sends us into overtime. Washington being led by Levi Harris with 25. He's the only Hornet in double digits. And Meacham has the ball to start this 4-minute extra session. We are tied for the 8th time today. 9 lead changes. March Madness has certainly started today at the Mabee Center. And that is a nice move by Levi Harris.
Now, that's great body control, Don. He goes up in the air, and the defense comes at him. He hangs and slides to one side and banks it off the goal. Tremendous athlete.
He has 27 of Washington's 59 points. Meanwhile, Walters on the other end can't buy it from 6 feet. Estes pulls it down. Mike Anderson beats it. There is no foul called. And here come the Hornets.
Nate Harris giving instructions right there, and I think he's wanting to just draw him out and then go penetrate, maybe get the short jumper.
Harris out front, Meacham with the ball, Mims on the other side. So a 3-guard offense. Rebound, Caulfield. Ada trying to win their first state championship since '82 when they were coached by Darrell Johnson, who won a state championship as a player on an undefeated team with Alvin Adams at Putnam City. And later tonight will culminate our 4 state championship games between #1 ranked Midwest City and 2nd ranked Putnam City for the 6A Boys State Championship. Before that, the 5A Girls Championship between Woodward and Claremore. So a lot of action still to come as Michael Belito will go to the line. He draws the foul on Estes.
Well, they're feeding it inside, and there's a good, it's a reach. And Angelo had the position on him. Had he not reached across there, he wouldn't have got the foul. You got to learn on the inside to keep those hands high, and that's 4 personal fouls on Angelo Estes.
Belito with the free throw. Well, it's been a game at the free throw line, as is usually the case in tight games like this. Ada has survived. Washington has had to try to hang on here. Anderson rips that one off the rim. 58, or 59-58.
You have to be awful fortunate if you can win a game and not shoot over 50% free throws in the 4th quarter.
Ada since last night in the semifinal and including today, JB. 40 of 48 from the free throw line.
That's just a remarkable free throw shooting.
18-footer, and Harris is money in the bank. He's got 29. Washington leads by a 3, 61-58. Walters, though, he'll take it. It's clean from 19, and that's a 3 that tied the game.
Ada strikes so quick, it seems like every time Washington gets what maybe looked like an opportunity to expand it beyond one possession, why they came right back and just do it again. And you got to count Walters and Evans, 2 great guards doing it.
He and Evans each have 1 3 apiece in the game. An Ada team that averages 4 threes a game. Between the two, they have over 100 3-pointers between them. 100 3-pointers between them. But today, only 2. But they have accounted for 33 of Ada's 61 points. If you're Nate Harris, what are you talking about here, JB?
Well, you're still looking at the clock, Don, and you don't want to take a bad shot. And I'm sure he's going to try to penetrate, try to get the shot in the shooter's hands, and the shooter's hands would have to be Levi Harris. But there's just a great look at the basket by Ryan Walters. He looked off a little bit, comes right back and looks it right straight up. And, of course, we've seen this all evening long, Levi Harris going up and just absolutely putting it right on the cross mark.
For those that might not know where Ada is located, if you drew a line from Dallas to Tulsa to Oklahoma City and back to Dallas, Ada would pretty much be in the middle of it. South Central Oklahoma. Population of 17,000, and they are on the edge of their seats, I'm sure, in Ada. 61-61, a minute and a half to go, and we are in overtime.
Well, most of them are here in the Navy Center.
Watkins, he can shoot from outside. I didn't know he could do that. He hit one from deep in the corner last night. That was a backbreaker against Southeast last night.
Well, Ada's really packing it in. They're gambling on the outside shot. They don't want, of course, Levi to be able to hit out there, but they're going to gamble for it. Keep it tough inside.
And remember, Anderson missed 4 free throws at the end of regulation, and when he got his hands on the ball, Caulfield fouls it.
Well, when you do this, he's come right over and gets the foul on him. If he tries to move, feeling like that Mark Anderson missing the free throws that he did in regulation time would do it again here, give him possession.
Anderson has his 7th point. Hornets are back in front.
3 of 6, and that really made him feel good after missing those others.
And after the first one went in, that one was really clean. Bullseye for Anderson. Hornets by 2. They still apply pressure in the backcourt. And the Ada Cougars have done a great job against the pressure throughout the day.
Well, what they're trying to do, Don, they don't want them to get the good look on the 3. The 2 is not going to be nearly as detrimental as them going right in the closing seconds and hitting a 3.
Walters against Mims. Couldn't get a good look at it, but gets the rebound and brings it back out. Oh, what effort by Ryan Walters. And Evans gets it back again and ties the game. 17 for Evans, 18 for Walters. 25 seconds to go. First overtime.
And those two got put on a show, Walters and Evans. And Levi Harris.
What a way to be center stage in the state championship. Harris. Yes. He's got 31, and Ada wants a timeout. In this overtime, Coach, Washington has 8 points. Harris has 6 of the 8.
Well, don't go away because it's not over. 6 seconds is a long time, but can you just realize the grit that Levi Harris, Ryan Walters, and Brad Evans has had today? Now, that's grit, I think, Don. Whatever grit is, that sounds good.
I would go right along with you.
Here we see the last shot right here. No contact, going away from the basket. just gathers it in. And I'll tell you what, that's a great release. He's got good spin on the ball. That doesn't hit right in the center. It hits the far side of the rim, but you get that good spin, and it pulls it right in the net.
And he doesn't throw it up high. It's pretty much a line drive type shot.
No, but his release, he's got that softness on the release that when it hits the rim, if it hits iron, it kind of dies.
It really does.
Flops right down in there. Shooter's touch. We never had that, Don. If it hit
Not
net,
much of it.
If it hit net, sometimes it would pop out on us, wouldn't it?
Yep. Well, this one has been a lot of fun, and we've got 3 more to go. Levi's numbers, 31 points, 4 rebounds, 3 steals for the 6'2 junior. He'll be back next year. Here we go. Oh, over the head pass, and Mims will hold on to it, and Washington will win the 5A state championship for the 12th time. History in the making in Oklahoma.
And that says it all, Don. That's what they worked for from day one at school. State championship.
The Ada Cougars come up so short. But what a group of young men that have made it to the finals twice in the last 3 years. And in a few months, they will certainly be very proud of what they've accomplished. Meanwhile, total elation for the Hornets, who were never really considered a serious contender this year, I don't think, until it got really late in the year.
No, you're absolutely right, Don. And there were several times in there when Coach Nate Harris had some criticism and all of this sort of thing. And we said from day one, every time we've done a Washington game, if you win the state championship in basketball in 5A or when they were 6A, if you win it, you've got to go through Washington High School to get it. And I think that's been pretty applicable this year as in years past. And, you know, you just have to congratulate Nate Harris and commend him for 9 state championships. What a job he's done at Washington High School.
And even though that he has won now 9 state championships and ties Beryl Franklin of Oklahoma City Millwood as the most ever in the state of Oklahoma for a coach, there is probably more pressure on that man to succeed year in and year out than maybe any coach in 5A or in the state.
Well, I can't think of anyone who has done more than Coach Nate Harris has done. And let me say this truthfully, Washington High School is not an easy place to coach. They have a lot of talent, and the community expects you to win. And it seems like that with a deep in talent, Don, that everyone wants their child to play, their student athlete to play more and more, and you can only play so many. And I commend and pat Nate Harris on the back for just an outstanding coaching job and a coaching career at Washington High School.
He is certainly a Hall of Famer. Even though Washington is the largest school in 5A, they've really bounced around between 6A and 5A. And the largest school in 5A meanwhile, the individuals will get their awards. The Ada Cougars fall oh so short at 21-7 on the year. And for the Hornets, who again win their 2nd state championship over Ada in the last 3 seasons. Remember, Washington made it close last year. They lost in double overtime to Oklahoma City Douglas in the semis in Norman.
You know, you look at the expressions on the faces of the Ada squad and the coaching staff, and you can really see how bad it hurts to lose that gold ball when you come so close. They're going to walk away with the consolation prize here, Don. They were the 5A boys academic champion of the year in the state of Oklahoma, so they will get that academic award as well as the silver ball.
And I know, JB, that you experienced a state championship and came up on the short end to Star Spencer while you were the head coach at Tulsa Edison. And I know it hurts for a while, but How long does it usually take, or how long did it take for you to really get over it and really start to feel the pride that you had in such a great?
Well, it takes some time, Don, to do it. You get back home and you try to evaluate what happened, and you can go back and look at the tape of this game, and if you're an Ada coach, you can see where you could, time and time again, if Nate had lost it, he could have done the same thing, and you get so close, it hurts, but at the same time, you're always proud that your kids set a high goal and almost obtained it. And hey, if you finish second and everything all your life, it's not bad, is it?
Not bad at all. Out of 32 schools. This was an Ada team that maybe a comforting thought is there was really, even though you lost by 2, there was really no one particular play that it falls on one player's shoulders that he might have felt that he indeed lost them the state championship. It was certainly a collective effort, a great effort by the Ada team.
And I think you could have said that for both teams, Don.
Yeah.
Whoever lost this game, you couldn't go back, and I couldn't help but feel sorry in there for Mark Anderson when he was missing those free throws. Had they not won the state championship, that young man would have lived with that forever, knowing that he himself could have hit one shot and won a state championship for his team. And you have to feel good that he's not going to have to live with that. But no, you're right on Ada. Every one of those kids played hard. No one could be responsible in any way for them not winning it. Just a great game. Who knows, if it had gone 4 minutes longer, they may have been up.
You're right. Ryan Walters gets a nice hand. He leads Ada today with 21 points. Chalky Caulfield with 13, none bigger than his last basket when he hit inside with 2 seconds left to send the game into overtime. And Brad Evans, a normal game for him. There you see number 11. He had 18 points or 17 points today, 11 out of 11 from the free throw line. A game that had 9 lead changes and 10 ties. Ada's biggest lead was 9 points in the second quarter, and that's when Washington came back on an 11-2 run to tie it. Ada came right back, though, on a three-pointer by Evans to go ahead by 3 at halftime. Washington with a third quarter run. Went up by 4 to start the fourth, and his Cougars for Mike Anderson came back to send the game into overtime. That silver ball will look pretty good in the Ada trophy case when they get home.
It'll look a lot better next week and the next week and then even next year, Don, than it does tonight. But there's still no smiles on their face over second place, but they'll get over it. And I think you just have to compliment both of them. Just a tremendous 5A fighter.
They out-rebounded Ada today, 32-22. Ada 50% from the field today. 2 of 8 from beyond the arc. Washington 5 of 13 beyond the arc. And today they're shooting right at 50% for the game. So both teams shot the ball pretty well today.
Now the presentation to the #1 5A champion Washington Hornets, and the Washington principal making the presentation. And that's always great to bring out the administration and let them put the gold medal around their neck. And there's Coach Harris. What a proud man.
Anthony Mims just got his gold medal. His father, Mike, preceded Nate Harris and took him to, I believe, 3 state championships. But, you know, it has to feel good for Anthony to get one of them on his own. 2 of them, actually. He was around as a sophomore, now a senior.
You know, we have our back, but I believe that's Dr. Sawyer, the superintendent of Tulsa Public Schools, helping the principal in the presentation.
I think you're right. You know, another thing that Washington needs to be complimented on, JB. You know, it is so... Levi Harris now gets a hand. He had 31 points to lead the Hornets, 31 of their 65.
And he hit some crucial points, too. And those penetrating, driving, off-the-glass shots, that's just remarkable when he's able to get them down.
But a lot of teams go into games before they get suited in the warm-up suits and whatnot. Washington showed up today in coat and tie. And that is certainly a compliment to Nate Harris and the Washington kids showing up for the state championship. The girlfriends came in in dresses. They were well adorned today, and they are even more adorned now with the state championship medals around their neck. And Nate Harris now gets his plaque, the winning coach, and history has been made today for Booker T. Washington, their 12th state championship. No school has now ever won more state championships than Booker T. Washington.
Coach Harris is also given the tan and white ball. That's their autograph ball that all the kids can autograph, and everyone associated with the state championship team. That goes in the trophy case. And they've got to be building bigger trophy cases at Washington.
Oh, they don't.
As much as they put into them.
The one they've got is, I mean, they stack balls on top of each other. Somebody really does need to help them because they have run out of room.
Coach Harris and his seniors in there holding the gold ball with the net around it, and very emotional man right there, and a very proud man. 9 state championships. You know, you say that, it sounds easy to say it, but you know how hard it is to earn it?
Oh, and he went a while, JB. Remember, from about a 8-year stretch from '87 when they won, after they won 3 in a row. He went about a 7 or 8 year stretch where they didn't win a state title, and he has got them back in the 90s with some great players, some great teams in this one. Maybe certainly wasn't expected to, when the season started, to be there, but here they are, coming in ranked number 8, 19-9 on the year, and they are the 2001 state champs. We'll come back much more from the Mabee Center as we continue a day long of activities in March Madness.
For incredible savings on tough Ford trucks, head to Tulsa Auto Collections Ford Truck Month. We have over 1,500 tough Ford trucks, all priced low to sell fast. Save on a new 2001 Ford F-150XL regular cab. It's priced at just $14,995. We have 50 at this price. Save $3,000 off MSRP on a new 2001 Ford F-150 Super Crew 4x2. We have 40 at this discount. It's a stampede of savings going on now during Ford Truck Month at the Tulsa Auto Collection, the everyday low price place.
Testing one's strength starts at an early age. Wanting to be strong and look that way is sure to follow. Mature strength training requires proper instruction and supervision. The positive results of such training will soon take shape. It happens naturally, without the use of drugs or chemicals. Proper strength training, guaranteed to give you a lift the natural way. This message was brought to you by the Eastern Oklahoma Orthopedic Center.
Tulsa Teachers Credit Union was founded in 1934 by teachers for teachers. Since teachers love working with students, TTCU is proud to offer membership to students and their families. Just as students grow, TTCU has grown to 4 locations with a full range of services like savings and checking accounts, consumer and real estate loans, Visa check cards, and internet banking. For years, teachers in Northeast Oklahoma have given TTCU an A in financial services. And now we're an A+ because
students and their families can join.
Every Wednesday night, Tulsa does a 180. For more information, call the info line at 234-8180. That's 234-8180. 180. Where have you been?
Leonard, or what? You hit 3 straight three-pointers at one time.
Well, it was just a team effort. The team got me the ball when I was feeling it, and I just hit the open shots.
You were asking me how many points you had. You didn't even know earlier in there you had 33 against Central. You end the night with 31. You hit the biggest shot with 6 seconds left in overtime.
Well, it was just a team effort. We have to do what we have to do to win a state championship, and I'm just glad the coach confidence in me to take the shot. And without that shot, we wouldn't be where we are now. So I think Coach Harris and I thank God.
How does it feel to have that gold ball for the 5A title?
Yeah. It's the best feeling. If I was on the team 99, I probably wouldn't even feel like this right now because I got to contribute to the team, and I hit the game-winning shot.
Congratulations, great game.
Thanks.
Levi Harris, 31 points for the Hornets. Nate Harris, Nate, step on in here. your 9th state title, the 12th state championship for the Washington Hornets. Were you nervous at all? Your team didn't hit any free throws in that fourth quarter. You hit 1 or 2 of those, and the ball game's over. You don't go to overtime.
Well, we were concerned. I don't think I was nervous. We've been in a situation before, so they've got to come on and hit some. We could have won the ball game in regulation. Mark Anderson steps up there and he misses some big ones. But if you got a chance in overtime, then you have a chance to win. So we got in overtime, and we were lucky enough to come out and win the ball game.
Talk about the performance of Levi Harris. He had 13 in the second quarter alone, ended up with 31 for the game, and the big bucket right there in the last 6 seconds.
Well, he and Robert Meacham are both phenomenal underclassmen, and they'll be back next year, so we're fortunate to have both of those guys on our team. Levi's a great shooter. He works hard on the defensive end, so just a great underclassman.
I'm sure the rest of the state's happy to hear that. Well, you got them coming back.
He and Meacham are coming back, as well as 10 other kids on our team, so we hope we're here next year.
All right, Nate, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, Nate Harris, his 9th state championship, guys. They take it today, 65-63. Coming up, will we have a repeat champ in girls 6A action? Jenks, or will Tahlequah try to unseat them? We're live at the Mabee Center.
Well, before we certainly preview this game, one more thought on Nate Harris, JB. When you think of all of the great players that he's had that have gone on to the NFL, Eton Thomas, who's gone to the NBA, Ryan Humphrey, I mean, you could go, it would take us 10 minutes to list them all. But the thing that really gets me about all of those kids that have gone on to college, he's had close to 50 Division I players. They are good people as well as good basketball players, and a lot of that has to do with Nate Harris.
Well, I think an awful lot of it has to do with Nate Harris. He's a perfect gentleman. He tries to do the very best he can for every one of his players. And, you know, Don, I will say this again because I've been there and I've done it. I know what it is to be in a pressure cooker, and he is in a pressure cooker, and he does a marvelous job of getting all of his kids involved, and then it speaks for itself. That list that you had, that's all the way down the sheet, that's gone on and distinguished themselves.
Let's take a look again at some of the highlights of that game before we start turning our attention to the next game.
And that's that outstanding number 2 guard Ryan Walters that we just saw come right back with maybe the player of the game. Has to be Levi Harris, number 15. The pass in there from Evans goes on into Caulfield, and that was the bucket that sent it to overtime, and you can see the happiness right there of that young man, as well as the Washington Hornets. Nate maybe a little frustrated right there, but not when that young man has the ball. No frustration. Levi Harris, number 15, hit the winning shot, and he hit so many outstanding shots throughout the course of the game. Frustration on the face of Mike Anderson as he has to accept the second place ball, the silver ball, but there's the gold ball.
So we have started from the Mabee Center. Stay with us. We're coming back for the second game.
For incredible savings on tough Ford trucks, head to Tulsa Auto Collection's Ford Truck Month. We have over 1,500 tough Ford trucks, all price low to sell fast. Save $3,500 off MSRP on a new 2001 Ford Explorer 4-door. We have 60 at this discount. Or you can save $5,000 off MSRP on a new 2001 Ford Expedition. We have 70 at this discount. It's a stampede of savings going on now during Ford Truck Month at the Tulsa Auto Collection, the everyday low price place.
Designs with an attitude, fashion with a flair. Carpet Center can make your home have your personality with ornate area rugs by Kuristan, Tracy Porter, and Kathy Ireland. A unique selection of decorative ceramic tiles, custom designed to fit your lifestyle. Elegant carpets by Laura Ashley in Waverly for that hard-to-find color. Carpet Center, 121st and Memorial in South Tulsa, your decorating showplace.
Nip in the air, changing leaves, can only mean one thing.
It's football season!
It's also home heating season at Airco Service, the name you've trusted since 1961.
I have the dish, the big screen, the recliner.
He also has a reliable, high-efficiency Lennox furnace.
Yep, this season this is the best seat in the house, baby.
And thanks to Airco Service, it's also the warmest.
Lennox, one less thing to worry about.
I want to try.